So we're going to see if we can get this. But to do that, I have to creep up carefully because it will sense the vibrations of my feet. When I get close, I'll just try to grab it, and if I don't get it, then I'll probably be able to use the salt. I'll get as close as I can. I'm about a yard away. Now I'm going to crouch. Okay, I got it. Now you have to keep it really, you wouldn't believe how strong that muscle is. Don't pull, you just keep the pressure on, wiggle it out. It'll eventually give. Ideally this would have been further out. That foot, that is really, I mean, it almost feels like it's snagged. It isn't, it's just the muscle on that foot. But if I just hold and gently wiggle it, it will eventually come, gently easing it out. It mustn't be too firm. And it's giving now. Here it is. Here it is. There we go. So there's a razorfish. Didn't even have to put salt down the burrow on that one. It was just sticking its top of its shell out of its burrow by about an inch. Creep up very carefully, grab it, and then hold. Just hold on. Don't force it too much. See one here? We'll just walk up to it. See at what point it notices me. Yeah, there it goes. So that was quite bold. Normally they disappear a good bit before that. One. You see the shape it leaves in its wake. It's not always apparent as a keyhole shape. I mean, you were walking along that, you just think that's a blowhole from a lugworm. You might very well imagine that that is the blowhole of this worm here. It'd be about here. But in the wet sand like this, when they're moving up and down, like that one just did, I induced it, but that's what they do naturally. That's sometimes what you can see, so it's not always obvious. See, now that's obvious. Now look at that. You saw the way that one retreated. Now that was a keyhole shaped burrow. Now it's collapsed on itself and it just looks like a blowhole, a blow lug. So yeah, it's not always obvious. you see these and ever wonder what they are, they're the eggs of the, I think it's the common whelk. So I think the Latin name is Buccinium undatum. Yeah, and they just get washed up. You see them quite often. Right, now this is the type of thing you really have to watch out for. If I wasn't keeping a lookout, I could just be wandering along these sands. No idea that there's a little upwelling of fresh water here. It's okay here, it's fairly firm. If my foot went there, it's just, see, it just goes straight in, and I have no idea how far. No idea how far my foot would go down, and I'm not going to find out, because you could get stuck there. There's the sea, tide's coming in. Yeah, it doesn't bear thinking about really, so you've got to be really careful. On any beach, on any flat sandy beach like this, in any ocean environment, you've always got to be vigilant. Now you can see why they're called yellow-tail lugworms. These blowlug are also called yellowtails, and that is the tail of one of these lugworms. If I touch it, quickly disappear. There it goes. Disappear down into its burrow. Its blowhole will be here somewhere, but I can't see it. And you saw the worm earlier. It was a yellowtail. Well, obviously this is not a yellowtail. It's more of a darker colour. It might even be a black lug. If I touch it now, you see how quickly it disappears. And there you go, down its hole. Gently ease it free. It doesn't take that long. I've run out of salt, so it's pure hunting now for razorfish. Hunting, and it sensed me as well. So you can see, I don't know if you saw that, but it's still out, and there's one squirting in front of that. Wow, there's just so many of them. There's so many worms, there's so many razorfish. There's things stranded. We've seen fish, starfish everywhere. Just amazing when the tide goes out this far. It really is worth making a note of those big low tides that happen twice a year. You get the really big tides, normally around the equinoxial periods, and that's when you get to these beds that normally aren't exposed. And yeah, as you can see, just unbelievable life. There's tube worms, there's lugworms, there's black lug, blow lug, razorfish, there'll be shrimps, juvenile flatfish, there's sea potatoes. So I've got lots now. I've got a full bag. Don't really need to get any more. I've got loads but there's still loads here. I don't need to keep collecting, I've got enough what I need. Here's another one. But there's one up there. Just see it. They're everywhere. And these are just the ones I can see. As I walk along, there's squirts, there's razorfish sticking up. You can see their keyhole-shaped burrows. See what this one does. We'll get this one. See, look at that. I mean, let's just try and get this. Okay, so that's the razorfish. That's how easy that was to catch. So eventually, when it senses that danger has gone, in other words, it doesn't feel any movement, doesn't feel any of my vibrations from the footsteps, you'll see the foot protrude from the shell and slowly dig its way into the sand. That shell will become upright and eventually get buried. Look, there's 3 razorfish just here. There's one there, one there, one there. As tempting as it is to collect them because they're there, I'm not going to. I don't need any more. Just only take what you need. Well, what a lovely sunset to finish off this lovely evening spent by the beach, taking advantage of the very large tide to get these razorfish. Just counted, had 27. Honestly, I probably could have just stayed a lot longer and got a lot more, but that's enough. So there you have it, that's how to catch razorfish. Most of these were caught by hunting. I wasn't using any salt, I was just using the binoculars, crouching down and scanning the flats in front of me, and you would see them sticking up by about an inch and a half of their shell sticking above the sand, and then, like I say, you just creep up ever so quietly and softly and then just grab them and they eventually come out. And I think probably more than half of these were caught. In fact, probably 2/3 of these were caught just using that method. Occasionally I used the salt method, but I don't know, it's more fun sort of hunting them, wandering the sands, scanning what's in front of you, spotting them sticking their shells up, and then like I say, crouching down and grabbing them.